Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Yo, this your man, 100 grand Ross with the Rock Never Stops, coming to you with another episode of boxing content. Today we're gonna dive in on none other than the Bronze Bomber champ, People's champ for sure, Mr. Deontay Wilder. If you like the video, please smash the like button, hit subscribe, smash the bell, and leave some comments. It's always appreciated. And I definitely love getting back to people when they leave a comment or two. But let's dive in. What's next for the champ? What's next? There was a time in boxing where if you had a defeat, you came back again. If you had another defeat, okay, you moved on to the next one and the next one and the next one. Now, all of a sudden in boxing, I know it's been overstated already, but there's this aspect to where folks is like, to lose, it's over. People don't really think about like his brother only lost to one person. To one person. That's it. That's it. Couldn't nobody else whoop him. Couldn't nobody else really even take it to him. The closest was probably Luis King Kong Ortiz, who rocked him, definitely rocked him. And then he got laid out. He got laid out in the worst way. And so it's one of those things where you're looking at it and you're like, who's going to step up next? Because the reality is he was getting dodged. Deontay Wilder was getting ducked and dodged for most of his career, even after he had the belt, even after he had the big boy belt, even after he was sitting at the top. And you would think people would want a shot. Didn't nobody want a shot. None of the top fighters wanted a shot. And so now you have this moment where it's almost like you would think people think that there's weakness is a great time to claim that spot and say, "Nah, I'm next in line." But it don't look like it. I don't really see any heavyweight boxers calling him out. Dillian White talks, but he does a lot of talking. So I have no idea what's actually real with him. I don't know if he's actually about that life. Because the reality is, Deontay Wilder is going to lay you out. He's going to lay you out. Tyson Fury got laid out multiple times. He was just able to get back up. Who really believes that they can walk through that fire? Who in the heavyweight division? Some people say Andy Ruiz might be a good matchup. But his last fight, he looked like he was struggling against a fighter who didn't have nearly the amount of power as Deontay Wilder. Not nearly as long, athletic, tall. And Ruiz still looks like he's struggling with getting in great shape, fighting great fights. And so I'm sitting there wondering what's next for the champ. And if I'm real with you, I don't care. I don't care. Honestly, I just want to see the champ back in the ring. Now, I agree with his trainer, Malik Scott. Get some rest. You deserve it. Man, you defended your belt how many times? 10, 11, 12 times? How many times? You've been to war going back to back with Luis Ortiz, then Tyson Fury 3 times. You deserve some rest, bro. You deserve some rest. Matter of fact, I think the rest will actually help him more than anything else because I think it'll help calm him down a little bit. I felt like one of the things that worked against him was he was so amped up. And I think that in all three fights against Tyson Fury, he was just so amped up. And I think he was burning so much energy with just wanting to get this knockout to prove something. And I think that that worked against him more than anything else. And so when I look at what's next for him, I think the first thing is get your rest, bro. Sit down on your throne. You're still the champ. You're still the people's champ. Even if you don't have the belt, that don't make you the champ. Technically, with a belt, sure. There's plenty of weak folks out there, like Teofimo Lopez had a whole bunch of belts, thought he was the man. Still not the man. And so when I see Deontay Wilder, I'm like, okay, get your rest. Get your rest. Get strong. Recalibrate. Take some time. And then I'd like to see him slowly make his way back. I don't want to see him jumping into another war. Andy Ruiz, I don't think that's a war. I think that's an early knockout. I don't think Andy Ruiz ever felt power like that. I don't think he has the chin for it. I don't think he has the athleticism. I think he'll bring the best out of Andy Ruiz, like he does out of any competitor that steps into the ring with him, because they have to survive, to have a chance, to hope to survive. But if I really look at it, I think the best thing for him is to just get some warm up fights. Get some people. Honestly, we gonna come see you just because it's you, because we know that you're gonna knock somebody out. You're putting somebody on their butt, and that's a draw. That's a draw bigger than. I'm gonna be honest. When I watched Tyson Fury versus Wallen, right? I wasn't expecting highlights. I wasn't expecting this great show. I just want to see where Tyson Fury was at, and the fact that Wallen hurt him, cut him wide up like that could have easily ended the whole Fury Wilder trilogy right there. That cut was so big, it should have been stopped. Should have been stopped. But boxing was smart enough to be like, nah, we can't let it end like this. But Wallen, destroyed him. I mean, I'll take that back. He didn't destroy him, but he cut him open. You'd almost thought he got destroyed. So maybe somebody like that, maybe a Wallen, somebody that's going to be a boxer. It's going to be a smart, heady fighter that he can get in there with, work out some more of his own boxing tactics, skills that he's developing that you saw in the last fight against Fury. He just couldn't sustain it. And so maybe being in there with somebody who's not a real threat, who's going to come forward, who's going to come after him, that he's going to learn how to move and to work his strategies for a full fight. Like I would love to see that. I would love to see him go 7, 8, 9 rounds boxing, like consistently jabbing, consistently going to the body with that power. Like, if he could take that power that he has in that straight right and put it into a body punch consistently, fighting on the inside and the outside, doing better with his defense, his head movement, I think that would be a beautiful thing to see for just a couple of fights before he has another war. Because let's be honest, there's not too many wars available to him. There's not too many wars that are going to be interesting. Dillian White, yeah, I would love to see Deontay Wilder knock out Dillian White. I would love to see him go up against Anthony Joshua. But we know that fight with Joshua and Usyk is what's scheduled in the summer, so that's going to be no time soon. So I think if Deontay Wilder can get a couple of tune-ups before the summer, I think that would be beautiful. It would be beautiful. See him box, not take too much risk, but be really focused in there and really show off that he's continuing to progress, to really get into his ring IQ. I mean, he has it. Once again, let's remember, only one man has been able to whoop him. That's it. One out of the entire division. And so when I see that, I'm like, okay, you don't need to fight King Kong no more. You don't need that. You don't need that. Fury, I think he'd have to dominate against like Joshua, Usyk, and somebody else to get that fight again. And I think he would take it. I think he would take it. But I think that's at least a 2 year away, 1.5 to 2 years away. Which would be a good question to leave y'all. How long do you think it would take, and what do you think it would take to see Deontay Wilder back in the ring with Tyson Fury? What do you think it would take? So with that, I'm out. Let me know what you think of the video. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, leave some comments, and let me know. Till then, Holla at y'all. Peace.